Fiskerman Acharshkin. Hi everyone, my name is Chris and I'm a knitter based in a small town on the outskirts of Glasgow in Scotland. And this is the first ever episode of the Fool for Wool podcast, which is basically me getting on the bandwagon of knitting podcasts. Like, I'm addicted to watching knitting podcasts whenever I'm working on something, and I just think they're an amazing resource to kind of, I don't know, find out more about the world of knitting, to find out cool patterns that you might want to do, and to kind of just interact with other like-minded people. And I wanted to be more part of the community, so I figured I'd start a podcast and see if I can just share what I've been doing. We all create such amazing things, and it's so cool when we share them. So yeah, I just wanted to do that really. I was basically planning to have it follow the same format as a lot of podcasts because that seemed really simple and really informative. So I was going to start with a finished object section, a works in progress section, a wool acquisition section, and kind of just anything else I can think of. So I'm naturally quite a shy person, so this is going to be an experience in terms of shoving me in front of a camera and seeing how I interact. Hopefully not like a rabbit in front of some headlights. So bear with me, and we'll just see how it goes. So, finished objects. So basically, I love jumpers. Like, knitting jumpers is one of my favourite things, especially like oversized jumpers. And there's an amazing pattern by Tin Can Knits called the Antler Pullover, and I wanted to try and learn cables. I don't know if you can see it that well in the light. There's a reason I knit it in black, which I'll explain in a minute. So basically it's a in the round jumper, like fairly standard, and at the top you have these amazing cables that are kind of based on antlers, and it just seemed a really cool pattern for me to try and pick up the basics of cabling. Stephen West has an amazing video about cabling without a needle, and I'd always kind of wondered how people had knit cables in the past before mass manufacturing of steel cable needles, and that kind of like explained it to me in a way. And I just wanted to kind of experiment. So I knit these without cable needles. I just kind of took the stitches off, then kind of like did the specific cable stitch and then put them back on the needle, and just knit. And when you kind of get over the there's stitches off the needles, like, it's really simple to do, and I really liked it. And basically I knit this in black so that if I made any mistakes they wouldn't really show up. The yarn that this is knit in, I got for Christmas last year from my mum, and it's a special type of Hebridean wool from kind of really rare black Hebridean sheep. If I remember rightly, I think it came from the Isle of Uist. And as you'll soon find out, I love rustic yarns and I love Scottish rustic yarns. Yeah, and I don't know, I just think they're incredible. This jumper, which I will put on now, is one of the warmest things I've ever worn in my life. I purposely knit it like really baggy because that's my kind of style, DIY. Chic, I suppose. Yeah, but I really love it. I finished it over Christmas, which was kind of like really busy. It was basically like the first Christmas my daughter was kind of like interactive for. She's only a year and a bit, and she really enjoyed it. But I was kind of like running around the house in this sweater, cooking stuff, tidying stuff, opening presents, and I got so warm in it. But that's amazing. It's just what you need for a Scottish winter, really. Yeah, so that's one finished object. In terms of another one, this one has a story to it. So, this is the Unbearable hoodie by Maxime Cyr from Les Garçons, and it is an amazing pattern. I absolutely love it. I love bears, so that's a major win. But this hoodie was a bit of a disaster for me because it was my first attempt at stranded colourwork in a jumper. And I soon found out that I knit stranded colourwork far too tightly. I was kind of so eager to cast this on that I only did a swatch stupidly in this colour yarn. I didn't try actually doing a stranded colourwork swatch, so didn't realise I needed to go up a needle size. So this is far too tight across the shoulders for me, really. I'll put it on now so you can kind of see it. It looks like my shoulders are up around my ears at the moment. So yeah, you can kind of see the problem. It's, I don't know, maybe you could get away with it, but I would kind of like to fix it because the wool is so soft. It's a merino wool from Westwool. I think it's the bicycle range, tandem range. Can't remember, but I'll link it down below. And yeah, it's so soft and warm. And yeah, this jumper took me like quite a while, and it was the first colourwork thing I tried, so I'm kind of a bit sentimental about it and don't want to throw it away. Or kind of, well, I've been trying to give it away to my family members, but nobody wants it. Yeah, so the only other option is to try and, well, I suppose there's two options. I can either chuck it up to experience and wait until my daughter is a bit older to have it, or I can try and do some surgery on it, but I'm not really sure where I would start trying to do that. So if anyone has any ideas, I'm all ears, because I would really love to try and hack this to kind of get it to fit. But I know that getting stranded colourwork to fit if you've knit it too tightly is really difficult. So yeah, like any solutions for that would be really appreciated. Cool, so I'll take this off now. Yeah, those were the two projects I kind of finished most recently. So yeah, onto the works in progress, I guess. Pardon me. I've got one work in progress at the moment, and I've only got one because it's quite a big one, and I kind of like flip between being to use like the needles at the ready lingo, being a monogamous knitter, and yeah, I don't know, I suppose a polyamorous knitter. like so this is a cardigan that I'm knitting without a pattern and kind of just following a really cool tutorial from Anna and Carlos on YouTube, which is about steeking, and specifically steeking in the old-fashioned Norwegian way. I'd been trying to find like a cardigan pattern for a while. I love cardigans. I love how functional they are. I love how elegant they are usually. And it's kind of like the perfect item for me. Like, I'm always rolling up my sleeves and like taking stuff off and putting it back on again because I'm too hot or too cold. So a cardigan is like perfect just around the house kind of wear. And yeah, I've been having trouble trying to find a pattern that suited me or kind of like what I was looking for. And eventually I kind of thought to myself, well, it can't be that difficult to just make one. Like, people in the past must have made them without patterns necessarily. So I kind of did some digging and yeah, stumbled across this amazing tutorial by Anna and Carlos about steeking a cardigan. So basically they were just knitting a cardigan completely from scratch based on yeah, like their own measurements, and I thought that's amazing, so I wanted to try it. Yeah, so this is basically it. It's knit in parts, and once you've knit the parts, you kind of sew them together and steek it. So it's knit in the round. So this is the body, which I think is done. I might need to add, I don't know, a couple more inches onto it. But yeah, we'll see in a bit. And this is one of the sleeves, which is still on my needles. Needs a bit more length to it, I think. Yeah, so when you've finished doing all of the segments, you sew them together and then you steek it, which you basically do, if I remember from the videos, by like sewing up on, by finding the middle of it and then sewing up either side of it and cutting. You kind of do the same for the collar as well. Yeah, so that's basically what I've been working on at the moment. It's knit in this amazing Hebridean wool, again from the Berlin Yarn Company. That's going to appear backwards. Why am I doing that? I'll link it down below. Berlin, which you can kind of see here actually, is a type of ship that the Vikings used in the Western Isles of Scotland. So yeah, that's why it's called Berlin yarn. It's made from Hebridean sheep on the Isle of Bernery in the Outer Hebrides in Scotland. I'm probably pronouncing that horribly wrong. I'm trying to learn Gaelic at the moment, and yeah, if I pronounce that wrong, I'm so sorry. So this colour is Mil Shin Mara, which is Gaelic, I think, for sea pink. It's 50 grams for 175 meters, and it's a 4-ply, and it's organic dyed Hebridean and Cheviot blend, and it's 100% wool. So yeah, I got this yarn from my mum for my birthday, and it's really, really good. It's rustic, it's quite like toothy, quite, well, it's really robust, and you get an awful lot of it for 50 grams. Like, I had tons of balls of this yarn. I must have had like I don't know, 16 or so, because I knit a flax light jumper for my daughter in this, and it didn't use many balls of yarn. Yeah, and I don't know, I think so far I've used about 8 balls maybe in this, maybe 6, but it's not that many for kind of yarn that's so fine. Like, this is a really thin 4-ply, I'd say. So yeah, interesting. I'm basically, yeah, just working through the rest of the sleeves and stuff. So I need to do the other sleeve and then kind of sew them on and stick it. But yeah, I'll let you know how it goes, potentially, if we do this again. Yeah, so that's kind of my works in progress at the moment for knitting. I suppose in terms of other fibre related stuff, I've been trying to teach myself how to spin at the moment, and yeah, I've been using a drop spindle mainly, but for Christmas I got a really amazing gadget. So this is the electric eel nano, which is a kind of like portable spinning wheel. Like, I don't know the first thing about spinning, so what I've learned has been kind of gathered from YouTube videos and reading stuff. This book in particular is amazing. It's by Abby Franquemont. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it's called Respect the Spindle. And it's basically, yeah, a book about how to spin with a drop spindle. And kind of like how to draft and just all about the mechanics and science of spinning and yeah, how it works. So I've been trying, yeah, to teach myself how to do that. I've only really started experimenting with it in the last couple of weeks or so. So this is one example. Excuse the like crazy colours, but I bought when I bought my drop spindle, I bought like a kit, and it came with lots of it's kind of like a rainbow kit with different bits of like comb top in different colours. So yeah, it's like a merino, which I don't think is the best type to learn on, but yeah, it's better than nothing anyway. I'm using what I've got. So this has been plied, and this was my first-ish attempt. I don't know if you can really see. I don't know where the end is. This is probably I don't know, heavy DK, maybe heavy Aran, I don't know, somewhere in between DK Aran, but parts of it are like, I'm saying heavy DK, heavy Aran because parts of it are really chunky and parts of it are quite thin because I'm a very uneven spinner at the moment, but I'm just learning, so I'll get there eventually. Yeah, so that was my first attempt, and this one is my second-ish attempt, which is still on there. I've managed to get it a lot thinner and hopefully a lot more even. I was kind of aiming for a fingering weight when this is plied. Yeah, but that's basically it, yeah, in terms of another work in progress, like spinning, trying to teach myself how to spin. Okay, so yarn acquisitions, or wool acquisitions. So the main kind of things I've got this month are kind of a late Christmas present from my parents, which is kind of a sweater's quantity of some Aran weight wool from West Yorkshire Spinners, the Croft Shetland colours range. So this is, what colour are you? Melby. Yeah, Melby by the Croft. It's 100% Shetland wool, 166 meters for 182 yards, and it's 100 grams. This one is Bixter, and yeah, I think it's the same. Yep, same stats. I don't know what I'm going to knit with, what I'm going to use this to create just yet. So any ideas would be really welcome. Potentially another jumper or sweater. Like, I love having like a big project and then like a smaller one as well usually, so anything like that would be good. So otherwise, yeah, I'll have a think. But so that was that one acquisition there, and the other one is the result of pledging to a crowdfunder. So near where I stay in Glasgow, there's an amazing yarn dyer and kind of small yarn shop called Sealy McWheely, and they've just like crowdfunded to open a new shop in Kirkintilloch, and they were successful. And yeah, basically Katie, the lady who runs Sealy McWheely, was looking to get space to have her own dye studio in the premises as well. So yeah, I think it was a crowdfunder to do that. You could kind of pledge different levels, obviously, blah blah blah, and yeah, I pledged and I got some, like, a hank of spinning yarn. So this is 85% superfine merino, 15% mulberry silk, custom blend top for spinning or felting, 100 grams. So to kind of like, for one of the for the reward for pledging for the crowdfunder, Katie kind of made the Zodiac collection, which is based on different signs of the Zodiac, and this is the Galaxy colorway. Like, I love the colors in this. It looks amazing. It's also one of the softest yarns I've ever, softest bats, I think the word is. Oh god, top, that's the word, top, that I've ever felt in my life. It's so soft. Yeah, so I'm gonna spin this at some point, but the fact that it's got silk in it is terrifying me slightly in terms of spinning, because I know that spinning silk is supposed to be quite difficult, or harder than spinning like a toothy kind of rustic wool. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, what else? Oh yeah, and when you pledged on that, you've also got this really cool pin badge as well. So that will be going on one of my knitting bags. So yeah, that was basically it. Ramshackle insight into the odd knitting world that I seem to inhabit at the moment. Let me know what you thought, if you think there should be another one, if you found this interesting in any way, and let me know what you're knitting at the moment. Cool. I will say thanks a lot. Oiche va, cheery.